One of the questions I have been confronted with since we began to discuss the case of Nnamdi Kanu, his trial and conviction, has been this concern, widespread concern among people of the Southeast, suggesting that Nigerian government is discriminatory in the way it enforces the law, particularly in the way it goes after terrorists and bandits. They constantly made a comparison between what appeared to be a very lenient and friendly treatment that Nigerian government extends to the bandits, while at the same time showing high-handedness in the pursuit of Nnamdi Kanu and related cases. I had tried to argue that when it comes to criminal law and punishing people who committed crimes, we should not engage in such argument. We were not supposed to engage in what we call comparative analysis of evil. Evil is evil and should be condemned. And we cannot say that until the bandits are punished in the north, then the ESN people in the east should be given a free hand. I made that argument, and I made that argument on principle, based on pragmatism. People are dying in the southeast. We need to maintain order in the southeast. We need to stop the carnage in the southeast. And I wasn't going to entertain an argument that suggests that we should be lenient because government is lenient with bandits in the north. I thought so. However, I went back and began to look at the matter very closely. Any discriminatory enforcement of law, any selective enforcement of criminal law is going to be perceived as unjust, and indeed it is unjust. Nigeria must maintain even-handedness, the same standard of prosecution in all cases, so that it will not look as if certain people or people of a certain ethnic group are being singled out and punished extra, as has been said in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. I was going to get to that topic, but I was looking for the appropriate moment to get to it. Until today, I listened to the statements made by Alhaji Gumi, and is a well-known Islamic scholar who has been very vocal on several national issues, especially on issues bordering on security. Gumi was alleged to have been close to bandits, to have participated in mediating and negotiating with bandits and paying them money. And if so, how come Nigerian government has not responded strongly against that sort of behavior? Why would Gumi be out there seen to be promoting and advocating for bandits, whereas Nigerian government is dealing ruthlessly with bandits of the southeast? I told you that that argument is flawed, but the sentiments and concerns raised are genuine. So I decided to play for you a statement of Gumi as follows. Three of questions. How do you expect me to convince you? Let me step one by one. IPOB is attacking the police, is attacking the army, is attacking INEC, government institutions, killing our men in service. And the herdsmen are kidnapping children, not to kill them, to get money. So how can you compare somebody who's killing our gallant men in the armed forces directly, attacking them, to somebody who's kidnapping children to make money, not to kill them? Look, we need some fairness in what we are doing. Indeed, Gumi's argument is most unfair and most irrational. Gumi is trying to make a distinction between the ultimate motive of criminals, whether they're kidnapped to kill or whether they're kidnapped for ransom. That argument is absolutely untenable. First and foremost, Gumi, how did you know what the bandits intended to do? Did they inform you? Were you aware? How did you know how they operate? A crime is crime. Kidnapping is kidnapping, whether you kill the victim or whether you collect ransom. A serious government must tackle kidnapping. The sort of argument being advanced by Gumi, and he actually talks about fairness as a justification for the very terrible comparison he made, that is absolutely incorrect. And we must condemn it. This is the sort of thing that leads to the perception of selective enforcement of the law by Nigerian government. There cannot be this sort of distinction. And indeed, Gumi seems to have very intimate knowledge of the operational objectives and tactics of the bandits or the herdsmen. And if so, Nigerian government ought to view Gumi with every suspicion necessary. So we condemn this. This is unacceptable. The bandits or herdsmen have no reason to kidnap. Kidnapping is against the law in Nigeria. And Nigerian government, the presidency particularly, should take note of this sort of thinking as expressed by Gumi. Gumi being an influential scholar whose opinion is taken seriously in the northern part of Nigeria. I find his comments extremely troubling, and I wish he would clarify, he will come out and withdraw this statement and indicate unequivocally that he is not in support of kidnapping, regardless of the purpose of that kidnapping. This sort of comparison is unfair, it is condemnable, and I can understand that it justifies the sentiments we have seen expressed by people in the Southeast. Having said that, the activities of IPOB, kidnapping, killing policemen, attacking policemen, and inciting the people, that is a crime which the government must enforce. Likewise, kidnapping people for ransom, especially children. I was actually very surprised because Gumi admitted that it was children being kidnapped. Who on earth, in his right mind, will ever justify the kidnapping of children? There can't be any crime worse than that. So we expect Nigerian government to deal with the bandits with the decisiveness and resoluteness, the type they have displayed in the prosecution and conviction of Nnamdi Kanu. Gumi should stop trading with these bandits. He should stop offering them money. He should stop encouraging them. He should stop suggesting to them that it is also okay to kidnap, provided it's done for ransom. Gumi did not even understand what would happen if ransoms are not paid. If ransom is not paid, the victim will be killed. So the distinction Gumi is trying to make is absolutely nonsensical and unbecoming of a person who is reputed to be a scholar and an elder.
In the heart of the city where stories unfold, Gentle Media TV shining bright and bold, bringing news from the corners of the globe, connects us together no matter the road. Oh, just rise, hear the voices roar, unity and diversity, together we soar.